Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News, a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. We do this live every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that means we've got a whole bunch of people in the chat right now that I want to shout out real quick before we get into the news. Travis Keir, Old Fat Guy BMX, Stoney, Ken Nichols, Travis Schramm, Taco Slurpees, all kinds of people hanging out in the chat. So thank you, and tune in if you can, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And before we get into all of the news, I want to first just put something out there. So last year for Swamp Fest, I had a total of 22 videos, live streams, and YouTube shorts. Had over 100,000 views total on them. And this year, I'm looking into the potential of having someone sponsor that whole series. So having like a video bumper before the Swamp Fest videos. I'm not sure exactly how we'll have to get creative with the live stream since they're live and a little bit harder to do that way. And with the shorts, links in the description, all of that fancy stuff in return for help with the logistics of Swamp Fest, gas, food, hotel type stuff like that. If you or someone you know might be interested in that, let me know. I'm interested in talking about it. And basically, just looking to see if that might be of interest to anyone out there, BMX company, something that makes sense. That being said, let's get into the news. First things first, X Games 2022, Japan. I think it's Japan, yes. And it's going to happen in Japan for the first time ever. It's happening April 22nd through 24th, 2022 at the Zozo Marine Stadium in Chiba City, Chiba, Japan. So with this, there's some interesting things going on with the events. So there's a promo video. It's linked in the description below. As always, everything I talk about is linked in the order that I talk about it down below. So when we take a look at the events that are going down, there's all these skateboard events. Look how many skateboarders there are. I didn't even pay attention to that. And vert. But in BMX, we don't see vert or big air, but what we do see is Flatland. So BMX Flatland is back in X Games, and I thought that that was really interesting to see in comparison to something like big air or vert. I thought it was really interesting to see that, especially considering that they have a vert ramp for this one. They aren't doing big air. I'm wondering if it's maybe because there's not enough people to do these things. But then another interesting thing about this Flatland segment is that there's more Flatland riders than there are BMX street riders invited. How wild is that? That in 2022, Flatland is back in X Games and there's more riders invited than BMX street riders. It's pretty crazy to see that. And it makes me wonder, because I feel like X Games tries to cater to things that like normal people might want to watch on TV. And it's wild that they're seeing more potential in Flatland interest than something like Vert or Big Air, or if it's because of the fact that there's more Flatlanders. But I just think it's really interesting. So let's go through all of the riders that are going to be in X Games 2022. So for Park, we've got Declan Brooks, Nick Bruce, Pat Casey, Daniel Dares, Justin Dowell, Brandon Lupos, Jeremy Malott, Logan Martin, Rim Nakamura, Kevin Peraza, Marin Rantis, Daniel Sandoval, Jose Torres, Mike Varga, and Ben Wallace. Then we've got BMX Street Riders, Courage Adams, Alex Donachie, Chad Curley, Felix Prangenberg, Matt Ray, Brock Rayford, and Garrett Reynolds. Next, Flatland, Terry Adams, Matias Dandois, Vicky Gomez, Varo Hernandez, Alex Jumelin, John William Prevost, Moto Sasaki, and Yohei Uchino. And it's kind of interesting. Now, there's a lot of talk about X Games and Monster and all of this stuff. So let's run through real quick who all the energy drink sponsors are for these people. Not sure about Declan Brooks, but Nick Bruce is Rockstar. Pat Casey is Monster. Daniel Dares is Red Bull. Justin Dowell is Monster. James Jones, not sure about. Brandon Lupos, Rockstar. Jeremy Malott, Monster. Logan Martin, I think might be Red Bull. Rim Nakamura, I think is Red Bull. Kevin Peraza is Monster. Marin Rantis is or was Red Bull. Daniel Sandoval is Monster now. Jose Torres, I'm not sure about. Mike Varga is Monster, and Ben Wallace is Monster. So, not sure. You can do the math there. I'm not going to lead to any conclusions now. Courage Adams is Red Bull. Alex Donachie is Monster. Chad Curley is Rockstar. Felix Prangenberg, Monster. Matt Ray, I don't know that he has an energy drink sponsor. Brock Rayford, Red Bull. Garrett Reynolds, Red Bull. So this one is actually well balanced. Flatland, not even going to pretend like I know. I think Matias Dandois is with Red Bull, though. I know that one. So that's everything that I think you should know about X Games 2022. And I think as a sport, we might want to try and figure out, how do we get our invites to look like this? There are so many people. They have women's skateboard park and women's skateboard street, and they have so many people that are involved. It's pretty crazy. So that's X Games 2022. Moving on from there, next thing is another jam. It's next weekend. It's the Wheel Mills Winter Welcome Jam. It is March 12th. Got all these sponsors. I wish that I could be there this year, but I will be at a concert in Columbus, Ohio, or Cleveland. I can't remember. Going to an Under Oath concert that's been planned, and we've had tickets for it for months. So not going to make this one, unfortunately. Moving on from there, though, there is a Lady Shredder Award at this year's Winter Welcome Jam at the Wheel Mill. It's a $250 award put up by the Bloom BMX and Odyssey. And that is pretty awesome to see. And I figured I would throw that out there in case any Lady Shredders see this and might want to make their way there for a chance at winning $250 just for shredding. Next, let's go into the videos from this week. Eastern Bikes, Luke Pedals, Good Times 2021. This is a little bit shorter, less than 2 minutes long, but Luke Pedals is always entertaining to watch. Dude seems like he can do tail whips into, out of, or wherever he wants to, and he's a really great person. He's like one of the most upbeat, happy people I've ever met. Moving on from there, Cult Crew, Yame Sintez, Wame. I'm not sure how you say that. Someone could correct me later. 2022, if you like street jibby type riding, this is the video to take a look at this week. Lots of technical street riding in there. Next up, Joe Battaglia's Frequently Stopping video. So much technical riding in here. I think there's like 5 720 Hurricanes in here. There's like several 5-tap to fakies on spines. Lots of tricks that you don't see very often unless you're watching Joe Battaglia, and then you'll see him a whole bunch in one video. Joe kills it. There's even a 900 Hurricane in here on a big ramp. 900 Hurricane. Crazy. Then we've got Mickey Fleck Zuin from United, another video with Mickey. He releases so many videos. This dude is on a tear and killing it. Next up, this one, I'm genuinely stoked that this even exists. So this video is called Give and Take, BMX is Beautiful, the Share a Bike, Share a Smile mixtape. And what this video is right here. It's a mixtape featuring 33 riders from 9 different countries in 5 different continents that were part of the Share a Bike, Share a Smile program in 2021. Just 2021. So 20 of them received parts and 13 of them donated parts. It's pretty crazy. And it does say here, of course, many more riders were involved during 2021, donating and receiving as a way to share the joy we all feel riding 20-inch bikes. And I mean, what else do you say about that? That is amazing. That is seriously amazing to see. 33 riders from 9 countries and 5 continents, all a part of this one thing that are just trying to help people ride bikes. I mean, look at this thumbnail. Dude's riding backwards, and you can clearly see that the setting is much different than most of us are used to in everyday life. It's pretty amazing. Moving on from there, if you enjoy trails, this video apparently is for you, even though the beginning of it is not trails at all. We get trails in there though. So if you want a trails video, check this one out. UK Trails Staff's Critical Cheese. I understand what the first part of that means, but none of the rest. But it's like over 7 minutes long. So if you want to take a look at a trails video, that's the one. Next up, there's also, okay, so it's linked in the description, but I accidentally closed it. The BMX Triple Challenge from Arlington, Texas. The entire contest video is up, as well as this best trick video. There was 3 jumps this time. I don't know if it was more tame than last time or not. I did the podcast live stream with Brian Fox. If you want to hear about it, go and check that out. Brian got 3rd this time. I forget who got 2nd and 1st. That being said, though, these videos are up if you want to check them out. Next, we go into the products from this week. First up, we've got the United Bike Co. Martinez Complete Bike. This is a Corey Martinez signature bike. Full chromoly, everything. Sealed front and rear hubs, I believe. Yes. But for $650, you're getting single wall rims on the bike. That's all I'm going to say about that. I will take a look at United's bikes later. Next up, we've got Gary Young's signature Sunday wavelength frame. It is here. It is finally here. And for everyone who wants a longer rear end on a frame made in 2022 that you don't have to get a custom frame made with, this is the one you want to get. Basically, the geometry is the same as the Soundwave, other than the chainstay length. The rear end length is 13.65 to 14 inches on this one, versus the Soundwave, which is 13.25 to 13.5. It's got the waved down tube on it, and it's Gary Young's signature bike. Pretty awesome to see. The price point is $410 on that one. So for anyone who's looking for a longer rear end on a bike, that's it. I know I hear a lot of people saying, look, there's nothing out there with longer rear ends on it. And you're totally right. There's hardly anything out there, but here's another category. And the top 2 blanks go all the way up to 21.25 on this one. They start at 20.75. Next up, we got a video with Casey Starling talking about the Kink Royale frame. He's talking about the geometry behind it and his parts that are on the bike and how they affect his riding and help his riding. There's also, I don't think it ended yet, a contest right now on Instagram, the Kink Royale contest, where you submit like your best clip that you can, banger clip, hashtag a certain hashtag, and you have a chance at winning a Kink Royale frame. Casey Starling is picking the winner, I'm pretty sure. Also, on the note of giveaways and things, somebody asked, anyone know who won Brock Rayford's Darkwave from Source? I do not know. I don't know if they announced it yet. So moving on from there, another product. This one is interesting. Somebody sent me on this on Instagram. Shout out to Thomas Hanville, I think it was. He sent me this saying Etnies has this shoe that's called the BMX. It's a colorway of the Jameson Volk, and it's called BMX. Well, if you look at the link up here, it says Felix Prangenberg. And if you look at this picture right here, it says Felix in it. So if you didn't know, Felix Prangenberg no longer rides for Etnies. So I'm assuming what happened was that this shoe was already done, planned out in the books, ordered, POs were sent, and then he got whatever happened with him and Etnies happened. So they had to release it anyways because they already bought the product. I'm just assuming this is what happened, and they had to give it a name to call it the BMX. So if you want a unofficial signature Felix Prangenberg Etnies shoe, there you go. Then there's more Etnies stuff. The Etnies in Kink BMX collection with Nathan Williams and Hobie Doan. This is a promo video with these two dudes, and first they're releasing all of these products that are Kink collaborations with Etnies. There's hoodies, t-shirts, and a shoe. You can see the Kink logo on the shoe here, Kink logo on the insole. It's pretty awesome. But then they're also releasing products. So there is what it says here. They'll be releasing a Williams signature frame with other accessories as part of this collaboration. That's pretty awesome. You can see the logo on the frame here is with the Etnies logo on it. I just think it's cool whenever companies work together like this, and you know that there's going to be people who buy this frame and keep it and never ride it forever, so they can have it as like a cool memento of BMX, and probably like their favorite rider being Nathan Williams and their favorite company being Kink. That person is out there. So that exists. Next, one that's kind of surprising, but the 2023 complete bikes from We the People are here. There's this video that's pretty much just riding in words saying that they're here, but it says We the People are excited to announce a new approach to our bike collection as we move into the next season. Already March, they're already talking about 2023. It's crazy. The 2023 We the People complete bike collection keeps our existing line while adding a sprinkling of new and incredible models in unique colorways, technologies, and upgrades, something everyone has come to love and expect each new year from We the People. It's pretty interesting, I guess, but it also says, by keeping our existing models and simply enhancing the line, we were able to find a solution to offer increased availability on popular models and a smoother transition between our model years, which benefits shops and customers alike. With so much craft attention and detail poured into every We the People, this latest collection still challenges the way complete bikes should look, feel, and ride right out of the box. It's pretty interesting. Let's see what this first look thing is. So first look, We the People's 2023 complete bike collection. Just gonna add this link into my document here for the descriptions. Oops. So we see 4 complete bikes. Oh, we've got a whole bunch here. So there's the Arcade, the Crisis, the Nova, the Reason, and that's just a bunch of pictures of them. What else do we have? That's about it. We the People New Bikes blog. What do we got here? Pretty much the same thing. Is there anything? This is interesting. I don't know what's going on with this. I will make a video talking about the We the People completes and taking a look at them the same way I have with like the Mongoose and the Sunday and Kink bikes. But that is that. Next up, we've got one interview type video from this week, and it's from Alan's BMX. It's called Random Adventure, A Brief History of Lancashire BMX. So this is a little slice of Northern English history with one of the world's longest running and most important BMX shops. So it says Random Adventure meets Alan Woods of Alan's BMX, a shop that has been in the Wigan BMX scene for over 40 years. And John Lee, an ex-racer whose love has been rekindled for the sport when his own kids got into it. So I'm assuming he's meeting with those two people. But this video is an hour and a half long. How wild, with these dudes talking about this stuff. So I haven't had a chance to watch any of it. I don't know that I will have a chance because it's so long, but I feel that people actually from this area may be super stoked on that. So I wanted to make sure that I hit on this one, and it's something really long. If you just want something long to watch this week, there you go. That being said, there's a whole bunch of stuff going through the chat right now that I missed because I was looking at the news stuff. So, what do we got here? OFG Stoney said, back in the day, DMC would have swept the whole comp talking about X Games. He would have won Street, Park, and Flatland. That's pretty funny. Vert is dying, someone said. I mean, there's no denying that Vert is dying. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. But, like, if X Games did a Vert contest, there's, like, 4 people, because Jamie Bestwick said he was fully and officially, like, retired from competing. There's, like, 4 people who would compete in it, and being honest, aside from Vince Byron and Zach, whose last name escapes me right now, Zach Fullface on Instagram, Zach Newman. Aside from those two, I feel like the competition would not be anywhere near as fierce as it would have been with like Jamie Bestwick and Vince Byron going against each other. Let's see. Trust me, seeing DMC this week, he still can and could win it. It was amazing to watch him. That's funny. We got someone named Zach Miles in the chat. Hey Brant, long time no talk, bro. How have you been? Been good. And I think I remember, if you're from Worcester, I do remember you. Always coming at the skate park. He used to ride a big mongoose, like a gnarly one of those huge ones, and he was able to do like 180s and 360s and stuff. Pretty rad. Jeff Mead said, just call it the energy drink games. What up, Shane? Shane's coming home from Wisconsin right now. Jeez. Come ride Worcester tomorrow if you're back. It's going to be 65 out. Ken Nichols says, where is Dirt? Well, you see, I don't know where Dirt is. They had it at Pat Casey's house in his backyard, and maybe they just didn't want to do it again. Maybe it wasn't in the budget. I don't know. It's weird that they didn't have Big Air either, because that seems like the biggest thing. And when people talk about X Games, like they say like Big Air is the biggest thing that's going on. What's up, JDA? Shout out to JDA as a member in the chat. If you don't know about the membership, just hit the join button down there. You'll understand. It's a way to support what I'm doing on this channel and just make it easier for me to do what I do and not have to be at it like a day job right now like most people during the day, and be able to be here making this. I loved the Dirt last year. Jeff Mead filmed half of Luke's edit. That's funny. You love to see people spreading the love of bikes. Absolutely. Everybody was crybabies about the temperatures, and it was so sad to see. Well, when it's like when it's freezing outside and windy and you're trying to have a BMX big giant dirt contest. Maybe they didn't do X Games Dirt because of the triples challenge, because that's basically what X Games Dirt has been. Let's see. Oh, Fat Guy BMX said, me, I'm that person about the Kink BMX frame. Kink BMX Etnies frame collab. The full suspension bike they showed was amazing. I did see that. I don't know if the full suspension We the People is a thing or not. I don't know. Will you ever do a trail maintenance video, or have you done one yet? I have a whole entire series on start from the very first time we started digging at the trails in the spring all the way through the entire year of riding and digging and everything we did. I filmed an entire season of that. I usually will film some stuff, but I probably won't do the same thing again because it's pretty similar. It's pretty similar every year what we have to do. And in looking, if you watch the video I just uploaded this week, in looking at the trails, there's really not that much damage to the jumps themselves. They'll need smoothed out and some dirt put back in some spots, but they're really not that bad. It just looks like we could uncover them and ride them if they were dry. X Games without dirt with a throw up face. That's funny. Yeah, so I don't know if We the People has the full suspension. We the People full suspension BMX. They postponed it last year, but I don't see anything from this year. What's the CRS 20? No, I don't know. What was that thing called? Wasn't the Swamp Monster or something like that? I don't know what it was called, but I don't see anything. We have not got the trees cleared out. We don't know what we're going to do with that yet. The Audio 22, I don't see it on here yet, so I don't know. We will find out, and I will mention it when I do the overview of the entire thing. So that being said, shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining in. Hopefully you enjoyed this week's BMX news video, and if anyone has any leads or anything about the Swamp Fest series, hit me up and we can make something happen or talk about it and figure things out. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on We the People's 2023 complete bikes coming out already, Flatland being in X Games with more invited riders than BMX Street, BMX Big Air and Vert not being in X Games, and let me know what you think about all of that in the comments down below. There's links to everything that I talked about in the order that I talked about it down there below as well. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow for another video.